Hello, students, and a very good morning to you. Students, as we are discussing Chapter 7 of Class 8 Science, that is the cell, and this is the second part of this chapter. In first part of the chapter, we have studied about discovery of cell, its organization in different organisms, and variety in number, shape, and sizes of cells. Now, in second part of this chapter, we will study about cell structure and function, comparison of plants and animal cells, and prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells. So students, in previous part we have studied about cell. We know that cell is the basic structural and functional unit of any organism. If organism is unicellular or multicellular, their body is made up of cell. After that, we have studied about organization of cell, how cells organize to make tissue, organ systems, and different organ system constitute an organism. Now we will study about cell structure, means what are the constituents are present in cell, from how many things the cell is made up of, and what are the functions of these structures which are present in the cells. So when we have studied about cell, then we have seen that all organisms, including plants and animals, obviously microorganisms also, they show different characters, means there are a lot of variations among them, and some common characters are also there. So just like the same thing is with cell also, cell structure and their function is different in different organism, but three basic things are present in cells. These basic things, we can say, these are the basic parts or basic components of any cell, and these basic components are cell membrane, it is also called as plasma membrane, cytoplasm, and nucleus. These three are the basic components or basic part of cell which is present in all cells. Later on we will study about prokaryotes and eukaryotes, so I will differentiate between these two type of cells, but these three are the basic parts which are generally present in a typical cell. Okay, now cytoplasm, as you can see in the given image, this is cell membrane, this is cytoplasm, and this is nucleus. About all other parts or components we will study later on. So first of all, you can see this is cell membrane or plasma membrane, this is cytoplasm, and this is nucleus. Cytoplasm and nucleus, they are present inside the cell, and cell membrane is the covering layer, means cell membrane covers cytoplasm and nucleus both. Okay, means cytoplasm and nucleus, they are enclosed within the cell membrane or plasma membrane. One more thing, these two parts or components of the cell, cytoplasm and nucleus, they make a living part or living component of the cell which is called as protoplasm. So protoplasm is the living substance or living component of any cell that includes cytoplasm and nucleus. So these three, cell membrane, cytoplasm, and nucleus, these three are the basic parts or basic component of any cell. Now first of all we will discuss about the cell membrane or plasma membrane. So what is cell membrane? Cell membrane, it is a thin or and delicate membrane around the cytoplasm. As we have seen in the diagram, that cytoplasm is present and that cytoplasm is surrounded by thin and delicate plasma membrane or cell membrane. This plasma membrane or cell membrane is made up of proteins and lipids. These two are the components which are present in cell membrane means cell membrane is made up of proteins and lipids. And about their structure, they have different type of structures that you will study in higher class. Different scientists have given different models to explain the structure of cell membrane and plasma membrane. So that thing you will study in higher classes. Now you have to study what are the functions of this cell membrane. So some functions are there. These functions are very important. First of all, it maintains cell shape. So this is the outer covering layer of the cell. So it maintains the cell shape. Then it forms a boundary of the cell, means it separates individual cell from one another. Means if so many cells are there in association, so one cell is separated from other cells by cell membrane, because it forms a boundary of the cell. Then it has several tiny holes which allows only selected substances to enter or leave the cells. Means this membrane is porous. It has so many pores, means tiny holes are present, and that allows the movement of substances both inwards and outwards. But the main thing is that it allows only selected substance, means all substances cannot go out of the cell and all substances cannot enter in the cell. Only some selected substances are allowed to enter or leave the cell. That is why it is selectively permeable. Selectively permeable means it allows only few things, only selected things to leave the cell or to enter the cell. And this membrane is porous membrane. Why? Because of the presence of so many tiny pores. So this is cell membrane or plasma membrane, the outer covering of the cell. Now next, cell wall. Cell wall is the additional covering layer around the cell membrane. So in that diagram we have seen the cell membrane. So suppose this is any cell. So outer membrane is cell membrane, but cell wall is the additional covering layer which is present, present around the cell membrane. It covers the cell membrane also. And one very important thing is that the cell wall is present in plants only. Okay, in plants, in bacteria only, these cell wall is present. The cell wall is absent in animal cells. So in animal cells you will get cell membrane or plasma membrane only. In plants you will get cell wall as well around the cell membrane. In plant cells you will get cell wall, and just below the cell wall you will get cell membrane. So cell wall is the additional covering layer around the cell membrane, and it is rigid and it is non-living substance, means it is made up of cellulose. All of you are knowing cellulose is found in plants, so that cellulose is present in the cell wall only. So cell wall is made up of cellulose. It is non-living substance. You know, cellulose is a type of carbohydrate, and it also have various functions. So first of all, it provides rigidity to the cell. Rigidity because it is rigid itself, so it provides the rigidity to the cell also, and it protects the cell. Obviously it gives the cell to a proper shape and support, and it protects the cell membrane as well as internal structure of the cell. So all that structures which are present in the cell and cell membrane, they are protected by cell wall. Now the next basic part or component of a cell is cytoplasm. Cytoplasm word is made up of two words, cyto and plasm. Cyto means cell and plasm means liquid. So it is a jelly-like fluid, means it is a jelly-like liquid which occupies the space between the cell membrane and the nucleus. As we have studied that three basic parts are there: cell membrane or plasma membrane, cytoplasm and nucleus, and in the structure of cell, we have seen that the outer membrane is plasma membrane or cell membrane, and one structure is present, that is nucleus. So the space occupies between this plasma membrane or cell membrane and this nucleus. This space is occupied by one jelly-like fluid, and that jelly-like fluid is called cytoplasm. So cytoplasm is a liquid, it is a jelly-like liquid which is present in between the cell membrane and the nucleus. It is made up of salt, water and protein. Yes, it is made up of salt, water and protein, out of which 90% water is present. So it is made up of 90% of water and a number of components or structures, as you have seen in the previous image. So that structures or components are present in the cytoplasm, which are called as cell organelles, and all that chemical reactions which takes place in the cell, all that chemical reactions take place in the cytoplasm. Cytoplasm is the place where all chemical reactions takes place in the cell. Now, next and very important structure or very important component of cell is nucleus. Nucleus, this is the singular word, nuclei is the plural word. So this nucleus is a small spherical structure or oval structure which is present in the center of the cell. In the center of the cell, this nucleus or nuclei is present, and it is surrounded by the cytoplasm. So in the cell, outermost layer is a cell wall, and the jelly-like fluid is present in the cell, where one spherical structure, oval structure is suspended in it, which is nucleus. And this nucleus is the control center of the cell. This is the control center of the cell. Generally, one nucleus is present in a cell, but in some cases, more than one nucleus may be present, as in the muscle cells, many nuclei are present. So generally one nucleus is present. Okay. Now nucleus consists of four parts. You can see this is the diagram of a nucleus, and it has four parts. First one is nuclear membrane. Nuclear membrane, as you can see here, this is nuclear membrane, which is written as nuclear envelope. This is a thin porous membrane that separates nucleus from the cytoplasm, because you know, if this is a nucleus, so this nucleus is present in the cell. So this nuclear envelope or nuclear membrane separates the nucleus from the cytoplasm, means it is the outermost covering layer of the nucleus. It is porous membrane also, and that is why it allows the movement of materials between the cytoplasm and nucleus. Means here also not all materials can enter in the nucleus, and all materials cannot come out of the nucleus. Only few materials which are allowed by this nuclear envelope or nuclear membrane, they can enter or leave the nucleus. So it is porous. It also has tiny pores, you can see in the diagram, which allows the movement of molecules in the nucleus. Okay. Now second structure is nuclear sap or nucleoplasm. So this is a jelly-like structure. You can see this is nucleoplasm. This is a jelly-like structure which is present in the nucleus, which fills the nucleus, and it is called as nuclear sap or nucleoplasm. Then nucleolus. Nucleolus, this is nucleolus. You can see in the diagram. This is a small spherical body which is present in the nucleoplasm, and it contains ribonucleic acid, means it contains RNA. Then the most important part of the nucleus, that is chromosomes. Chromosomes are the thread-like structures. These are the small thread-like structures that carry genes. So the chromosomes, they are suspended in the nucleoplasm. These are the fine thread-like structures, and they are called as chromatin threads. Means chromosomes are also called as chromatin threads. They are threads their thread-like structure is called chromatin threads, and they are present in the nucleoplasm. They condense together to form chromosomes, and chromosomes, they contain genes. They have genes. Now what are genes? Genes are the hereditary units. They are the hereditary units. They are passed on from parents to their offsprings, from parents to their child, and child receives one copy of each gene from mother and same from father. That is why child shows both maternal and paternal character because of the genes, because genes carries characters. Okay, so this is the overall structure of nucleus. Now, cell organelles. Cell organelles, these are the small structures or small components which are present in the cytoplasm of the cell, and few of the cell organelles you can see here. This is the diagram of a cell. First of all, the cell organelle is mitochondria. Mitochondria is called as the powerhouse of the cell because it produces energy from the oxidation of food. That respiration process, the cellular respiration process, it takes place in the mitochondria. Cellular respiration you have studied in 7th class, where you have seen that energy is produced in that process. So that process of respiration, cellular respiration, takes place in the mitochondria. That is why it is called as powerhouse of the cell, because it produces energy in the form of ATP, adenosine triphosphate. About it also you will study in your higher classes. So mitochondria produce cell energy. That is why it is called as powerhouse of the cell. Next cell organelle is endoplasmic reticulum. Endoplasmic reticulum, you can see in the diagram, this is smooth endoplasmic reticulum and this is rough endoplasmic reticulum. Two type of endoplasmic reticulum are present in the cell, smooth and rough. You will study in higher classes. They are smooth and rough because of the presence and absence of ribosomes on it. If ribosomes are present on endoplasmic reticulum, that is why they have the rough structure. That is why it is called as rough endoplasmic reticulum. If endoplasmic reticulum does not have that ribosomes, then it is called as smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Now what is the function? It is the network of membranes. It divides the cytoplasm in channels. You can see its structure, and it helps in the transport of substances within the cell. It is very important cell organelle in the cell because it helps in the transport of substances. One very important thing about endoplasmic reticulum is that it gives support and shape to the cell. That is why it is also called as endoskeleton of the cell. Endoplasmic reticulum is called as the endoskeleton of the cell because it gives support and shape to the cell. Next is Golgi apparatus or Golgi complex, or it is also called as dictyosome. They are called as the traffic police of the cell. Why? Because these Golgi structures also, Golgi complex also, they are made up of flat membranous sacs, and they also carry out various important functions. They carry out the function of storage and secretion of the substances from the cell. Means all the cells substances are formed in the cell, they are stored in the Golgi complex, they are secreted by the Golgi complex. That is why they control the cell, and they control the storage and secretion of the cell substances. That is why they are called as traffic police of the cell. Now next cell organelle is lysosome. Lysosome, they are called as a suicide bag of the cell. One very important thing is that lysosomes, they are present in animal cells. Okay, lysosomes, they are present in animal cells. They are called as suicidal bag because they have tissue dissolving enzymes. They have tissue dissolving enzymes. Yes, they help in the digestion of foreign bodies or foreign particles, and they also help in autodigestion of worn out cell parts. Means suppose if in the cell any foreign particle enters, so the tissue digesting enzymes which are present in the lysosomes, these are lytic enzymes, they digest these foreign particles or foreign substances in the cell. But as the other structures also, they are injured or they are worn out structures, our cell parts are present, cell organelles are present, so these structures are also dissolved or digested by the enzymes present in lysosomes. Okay, that is why they are called as a suicide bag of the cell, because they are digesting or they are dissolving the cell structures or cell organelles present in its own cell. That is why it is called as a suicide bag of cell. Next structure is vacuole. Vacuoles, they are the non-living part of the cells. You can see the structure, that is a vacuole. This is the vacuole in the cell. So vacuoles are the non-living part. What is the function of vacuole? Vacuoles, they stores excess water in the cell. They store useful materials. They store pigments and waste products in the cell. So that is why they are used for the purpose of storage only. That is why they are the non-living part of the cell. But one very important thing about vacuole, that in plant cells only one central big vacuole is present. In plant cells you will get only one vacuole, that is a central big vacuole. And in animal cells generally they are absent, vacuoles they are absent, and if they are present then they are present in many number and they are very smaller in size. So the basic difference about plant cell and animal cell with regard to vacuole is that in plant cells one central big vacuole is present, and in animal cells they are generally absent, or if they are present then they are present in many number and they are very small in size. Now the next cell organelle is ribosomes. Ribosomes are very important cell organelle in the cell because it helps in the process of protein synthesis. They are called as the protein factories of the cell. They are the protein factories of the cell because they help in the formation of proteins in the cell. Now the next component of the cell is centriole. Centriole also they are present in animal cells only. Centrioles, they are absent in plant cells. They are present only in animal cells, and they help the cell during cell division. Cell division means when cell divides, at that time they help the cell by spindle formation. That thing you will study in your higher classes. Now next cell organelle is plastid. Plastids are the cell organelles and they are present in plants. They are absent in animal cells. They are present in plant cells. They are colored bodies which are found in plant cells, and they are of three types: chloroplast, chromoplast and leucoplast. In higher classes you will study about their types also, but here you should know about the plastids, that plastids are of three types: chloroplast, chromoplast and leucoplast. Chromoplast, they are the green plastids. They contain one pigment. About that pigment all of you are knowing, that is the chlorophyll pigment. This chlorophyll pigment is very useful in plants because it helps in the process of photosynthesis. It traps the solar energy. You have studied in your previous class that chlorophyll molecules, they are present in the cell and they trap the solar energy. And one very important thing, they provide green color to the plant parts also. So chloroplast is the color giving pigment, green color giving plastid in the cell. It helps in the process of photosynthesis. Then chromoplast. So chromoplast are the plastids which give other colors, the colors other than the green color, other colors are provided by the chromoplast. Chromoplast also, they contain a lot of pigments, and they give different colors to different plant parts other than green color. They give color to the fruits and flowers, means as you know that some other plant parts are there, so many other flowers are there which are of different colors. So these colors are provided by chromoplast. Then the next part is leucoplast. Leucoplast are the colorless plastids, and they are used for storage purpose, means they store starch, proteins and fats, etc. One very important thing about these plastids, that depending upon the conditions, depending upon the circumstances, one plastid may be converted into another plastid. So we know that leaves are green color. Now when the leaves become so old, the fall leaf or the autumn leaves, they are orange or yellow in color. Then unripe tomato fruit, we know that it is, first of all, it is colorless, then it become green in color, then ripe tomato is red in color. We see different type of colors, different shades of colors in flowers as red, white, yellow and various other colors in the flowers. So these colors are given by plastids, and these plastids are interconvertible. They can be converted into another form. Now students, we will compare the plant and animal cells. So you can see the diagram of both plant cells and animal cells are here. So first character is cell wall. In plant cells, cell wall is present outside the plasma membrane. You can see this is cell wall. So, and this is cell membrane. So, cell wall is present outside the cell membrane. Okay, whereas this cell wall is absent in animal cell. You will not find the cell wall in the animal cell. The outermost covering in the animal cell is plasma membrane or cell membrane only. Next, plastids. Plastids are present in plant cells, means these are the green organelles which are present in plant cells, and they have different functions in plant cells, but these plastids, they are absent in animal cells. That is why animals are not able to do photosynthesis. Then vacuole. In plant cells, vacuole is single, means only one, and large central vacuole. You can see this is the vacuole. One large central vacuole is present in plant cells, whereas in animal cells, they are either absent, or if they are present, they are many and very small vacuoles, means they are present in very large number but very small vacuoles are present. Okay, now centrioles. Centrioles, these are absent in animal plant cells. You will not find centriole in plant cells, but you will find them in animal cells. So here you can see centrioles are present in animal cells. Now the next organelle is nucleus. Nucleus in plant cells, they are generally extrinsic. Extrinsic means they are present at the periphery of the cell, means at the side of the cell. So here you can see this is nucleus and it is present at the periphery of the cell, whereas in animal cells they are generally centric. Centric means they are present at the center of the cell. So here you can see nucleus is present at the center of the cell. Now the next organelle is mitochondria. Mitochondria is present in animal cell as well as in plant cells, but in plant cells they are less in number, and they are more in number in animal cells. Now Golgi bodies. In plant cells, they are many in number and scattered. Here you can see this is the Golgi complex in plant cells, and they are the Golgi complex in animal cells. In animal cells, it is single and near the nucleus. So Golgi bodies in plant cells, they are many in number, they are scattered. In animals, they are single in number and they are near the nucleus. So this is the basic difference in plant cell and animal cell. The The basic thing is that cell wall is present in plant cells, they are absent in animal cell. Plastids, they are present in plant cells, they are absent in animal cells. Vacuole is single and large central vacuole in plant cells, and there are many and small vacuoles are present in animal cells. Centriole is absent in plant cells, they are found in plant cells only. Nucleus is generally extrinsic, means it is present at the periphery of the plant cell, whereas centrally it is located in the animal cell. In plant cells, less number of mitochondria are found, whereas they are more in number in animal cells. And Golgi bodies, they are many and they are scattered in plant cells, whereas in animal cells they are single and near the nucleus. Now, the last topic of this chapter is prokaryotic and eukaryotic cell. So, what are prokaryotic and what are eukaryotic cell? Let's start with prokaryotic cell. Prokaryotic cell. This word prokaryotic is made up of two words, pro and karyotic. Pro means before, and this karyotic means carry on, and this carry on means nucleus. Okay, so pro means before and carry on means nucleus. So they are very primitive, means these prokaryotes or prokaryotic cells, they have very primitive type of nucleus. Okay, very primitive type of nucleus means they are not having nuclear membrane. Okay, they lack nuclear membrane. In such type of cell, nucleus is not having nuclear membrane, so we can say that there is no any proper organization of the nucleus, and that is why the nucleus in this such type of prokaryotic cell, that nucleus is called nucleoid. Okay, so what are prokaryotic cells? The cells where nucleus is without nuclear membrane, or the cells which lack nuclear membrane, such type of cells are called prokaryotic cells. And such organisms that have prokaryotic cells, they are called as prokaryotes. So prokaryotes are the organisms that have prokaryotic cell. As for example, bacteria, they are prokaryotic. Blue-green algae, they are cyanobacteria, they are prokaryotic cells, means they are prokaryotes. Okay, now come to the next part, eukaryotic cells. Eukaryotics, again this word is made up of two words, eu and karyotic. Eu means true, and karyotic, again this is carry on, means nucleus. So the cells which have true nucleus means the cells where nucleus has nuclear membrane, where the nucleus is bounded by a membrane. Such type of well organized nucleus is present in the cell with nuclear membrane. So such type of cell where true nucleus, membrane bound nucleus is present, that cell is called eukaryotic cell. And the organisms that have eukaryotic cell, such type of organisms are called eukaryotes. So what are the examples of eukaryotes? The organism except bacteria and BGA, means blue-green algae, means your cyanobacteria, all other organisms, they come under eukaryotes. They have eukaryotic cell. As fungi, they are eukaryotic, algae, they are eukaryotic, and all other plants, they are eukaryotic. They have eukaryotic cell because of the presence of well organized nucleus. So you will find a lot of difference in prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cell as well in their nucleus organization, as well as in the cell organelles or cell structures also, that you will discuss, that you will study in your higher classes. Now this chapter is completed. Thank you, students.